encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee. And
I don't know what's going on over there. Anyway.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Oh, we're back on loud, are we?
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
Yeah, that's correct. I did say. I'll wait for the band to get their rocks off here. Come on. Do what you do. Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba. Oh, good morning, folks. It is Friday, your favorite day of the week. Well, weekday of the week. Saturday is your favorite day. Let's face it. Saturday is your favorite day, but Friday is your favorite weekday of the week, right? It's Friday, March 8th, 2024. And it's the sun is shining out here, and it's probably going to be a beautiful spring day, spring-like day, not quite spring yet. This week, you set your cocks black, so get plenty of shoe polish for that. I did not sleep again. I have not slept in a week. I can't sleep. And the trick, they say, is to stop sticking gummies in your mouth. But while I'm working, the gummies are kind of essential. It's kind of a catch 20, whatever, catch 69, something like that. It's catch some number. Whatever it is, I got it, and I got it bad, and I can't sleep. I'm supposed to be traveling shortly to Governor's Comedy Club, where the fabulous Sam Talent is in town. He will be doing Knock 'em Dead comedy at 11 o'clock. I'm not sure I'm going to do it. I'm still not sure, even though it's scheduled for like soon. It's a long drive. I have not slept, and I'm not sure I can trust you guys in the back to handle keeping the ship from hitting the iceberg, because there is an important interview in hour 2, or as it says in the description on YouTube, Hewer, Leanne Linsky, who is the founder of Plausible, a new comedy platform that features lots of opportunities for comedians and people in the comedy industry to make some money, kind of like PBM TV's plan, but I think probably a little more thought out and a little more professional, ready for market than PBM TV. So that's supposed to come up in hour 2. In hour 1, Matthew Hooper, who is either a local comedian or a local comedian, New York-based comedian, either one or the other. There are two Matthew Hoopers. I'm not sure I got the right image. I'm pretty sure I have the right description. I'm confused. That's all I can say. Again, I'm confused. I just found out that there is another Matthew Hooper in New York City who's been doing comedy. Now it says in his bio 4 to 5 years, depending on which bio you read. You know, they get outdated. They probably put one up last year. But one seemed like a kid. like really, like 19 or something. I don't think he could have been doing it for 5 years, but you never know, right? You never know. Um, so there's that. Matt Hooper, and then in hour two, Leanne Linsky. I did want to briefly talk about my disaster Wednesday night. I didn't talk about it yesterday with Willie and Cocaine. Oh no, his brother. That was his brother Ron who showed up. Ron Kane. Um, Wednesday night, I had an interview with a supposed 7-year-old author. He's actually 8 years old. So that was false advertising right there. The publicist who hooked him up has been a very good friend for a long time. She's been sent me some great authors to interview and other people to interview. She's a great publicist. She contacted me about a month ago and said, I have one that might be a little strange for you. It's a 7-year-old author. I think he was 7 at the time she actually said that. So I said, okay, but I wanted to have his mother with him on Wednesday night. The kid showed up, and I was expecting an exceptional 7-year-old who could hold a conversation, because I have had a child author on who was more adult than I was and smarter than I was, more educated than I am. Uh, and she was really impressed the hell out of me. And I was expecting that from this kid, but this kid did not want to sit in the chair. He was a typical, he's 8 years old, but he was a typical 7-year-old, hyped up on sugar or whatever. He did not want to sit in the chair. He said, wait a minute, I'm not him. I got to get my twin. I'm his twin brother. And he was giggling, and we wanted to put a wig on his mom and make up stuff. He wanted to talk in funny voices. And did not want to talk about his book. And it didn't seem, I'm putting out a really, I'm just saying this, I'm not making any accusations here because I don't have any proof. But it seemed to me this kid didn't write the book. I can't believe this kid wrote a book. I think his mother wrote the book. And it seems like in the interview, there are some hints that she wrote the book. And it's just trying to capitalize. And she didn't speak uh, English in American English. I think she's from Spain, and she spoke with a very thick accent, which was hard to hear, and kind of rambled on, was answering all the questions for him while he was running around trying to put a wig on her head. It felt like I was babysitting. I wrote back to the publicist who hooked this thing up. This kid was not as advertised. And I don't think he really wrote the book. Now, I left I'm saying this because it's kind of an embarrassment to me. I left the video up in case anybody wants to make fun of me or laugh at me, uh, not knowing how to handle that situation. I did not publish the audio of it because on my the podcast for Mind Dog TV podcast, the audio stuff, I have a dedicated, and strong listenership that likes to hear from authors and stuff. And I don't want to really throw them like, what the is this? What the hell am I listening to? Because it was bad enough on video with the kid running around the room, but the audio is absolutely atrocious. So if you want to have some fun at my expense, go check that out. I did not go the full hour. I bailed at probably about 40 minutes in, which is a miracle I made it 40 minutes in, trying to think of questions I could ask the mother that I couldn't understand the answers for. It's a long way of saying, man, it's been a crazy week. I'm still trying to figure out whether I'm going to see Sam Talent right now or in a few minutes. But in the meantime, let's say hello to the men in the dog pound. Good morning, fellas.
Hello. Good morning, gentlemen. MindDogTV.com, the only place to get your Mind Dog TV sneakers. Do something nice for your souls. MindDogTV.com.
Well, that's a nice voiceover. You did that pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and I didn't interrupt you, and that was good. Yeah, pretty good. Anyway, I have not slept, and this is the only reason. Well, it's one of the reasons I'm not going. I'm leaning towards not going. The other part is Leanne Linsky is a really important interview. Not that I don't trust you guys to ask her good
But you already
questions and
said
all
you
that.
didn't trust
No,
us.
I don't trust. It's not that I don't trust you to ask good questions and make it a good interview. What I don't trust you to do is hit the right buttons at the right times and get out of this stuff and be able to make it not crash the system.
Oh,
Because
that.
because both of you guys need to hire a 9-year-old. Obviously, I know that's your own
yes.
advice, but
And when that 8-year-old kid that you interviewed when that 8-year-old kid you interviewed when he turns 9, I'll hire him.
Yeah,
he sounds like I need. That's what I need.
Did my live stream? Did the Lord and Lady live stream mess up something for you? Is that what happened?
Well, no. That was an excuse. Actually, that was a Google Chrome problem. But what did happen? It was scheduled to go on a bunch of different platforms that it didn't go on, and it kind of screwed up some stuff there. That's not, blah. It's not a big problem, but I just, with the radio stuff going on and the radio controls are here, so I still have to control that. I'm not sure. I only found out yesterday that Gov's studio does not have a computer strong enough to run StreamYard.
Oh.
So I'll have my laptop though, so I can just run my laptop and do it, right?
Yeah.
That's what I plan on doing because I'll have my laptop with me and I'll just do it on my laptop.
And but you got to get there in time because that was my concern too. But I was kind of my plan. I was going to bring my Chromebook, but they're going to be if I leave, even if I left now, by the time I get there, they would be in the mid show, and I don't want to have to stop Tony and say, "What's the Wi-Fi password, man?" And while he's doing this show,
we'll get it now. Call him now and get it. And that way you don't have to stop him and ask him.
Now I'm doing a show. That would be even dumber. I'm not gonna. Hey, what's the
Wi-Fi? Our listeners would love to hear you call
Tony to get the Wi-Fi. I bet you they would.
They'd love that.
Last night,
everyone listening right now is like, no, we wouldn't. Don't tell them to do that shit.
Well, they would love to have me put the password out there. Well, no.
Yeah, probably. You know what? I love companies that have tricky passwords or whatever. Like Boss's Comedy Club back in the day used to, if you asked them for their Wi-Fi password, they'd say "beats me." Be like, "Hey man, what's the Wi-Fi password?" They go, "Beats me."
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't know? Yeah, I know it. Well, what is it? Beats me.
All right.
What the fuck's the password? Why won't you tell me? Like fucking, yeah. And I love people that do that kind of shit with their password.
Now, I know neither of you guys watch my evening show, and that's fine. There's no, you're not expected to.
I've caught it occasionally. I don't watch it.
It's fine. Believe me. I wouldn't watch my evening show if I were me. But did you happen to catch the glimpse of me with any glimpse of me with this kid?
I caught a glimpse of it on Facebook. Yeah.
Oh man, it's the most brutal. I'm still like having douche chills. I woke up. This is why I'm not sleeping because I'm thinking about all the things that have gone wrong lately, and now I'm rolling over. I can't sleep, and I'm thinking about this embarrassment being out there.
And it's interesting too that like especially because what you're kind of saying is like the behavior and the demeanor of the child kind of dictates that it's not someone who was focused enough to write a book.
I don't think he's focused enough to write his name.
Right. No, I wonder exactly what kind of fraud is that really? You know what I mean? Because I grew up around really, really poor people. So I know parents that like put bills and shit like that in their children's name. But I don't know anybody that did like wrote a book and put it in their child's name.
It's a good scam if you could pull it off, but you got to have a kid that can act the part a little bit if you're gonna pull. Because even during the interview, I asked her, I asked him if his kids in school are watching tonight, and she said no. He said no. Mom wants to keep it a secret. Oh well, that's interesting. Why does mom want to keep it a secret? I'd be as proud as fuck about this. I'd be putting it out there.
Yeah, see, that's so weird.
Then I was asking about the cover, and she was talking. She was talking, and she said some things about he told me the ideas. Like she wrote he said he designed the cover, and I was like, wow, you designed that cover. And then basically, as she was talking, she was saying she drew it. He was just telling me what he wanted, but he couldn't tell me why. The book is First Camel in Space. He couldn't tell me anything about space or about camels, which was a interesting.
Did he tell you anything about cigarettes?
No.
Because I would like to have a camel in space. I'd be okay with
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like, you know what, and I don't want to badmouth the publicist because she's been great. But how they put this over on her, like she didn't check out this kid. Like one look at this kid, and you know he can't do a television.
The vetting process here.
Yeah,
the fact that the mother wants to keep it a secret. I mean, I didn't even write a book. I was just a bright child, and my mother was dragging me around to parties like a little monkey, showing me off. Now, true.
If I said like a little monkey, I would be beaten. I would be taken out and beaten for. But you can say.
Well, it could have been, and it could have been the alcohol that made her do it, and not pride, or not having a babysitter. It could have been that also, But the fact is, my mother didn't say, "Don't act smart around the grown-ups. Shut up." The only thing she said was, "Don't embarrass me around the grown-ups."
Guess what?
Here's a good rule of thumb when dealing with children. There should never be anything that needs to be our secret.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Like just in general, if you gotta say this is our secret, stop talking to that kid.
I started to bring this up. I didn't make a full point of this. Like, how do you expect to keep a secret and go on television and publicize and go on radio?
You said it's a secret. I'm thinking, then why have a publicist?
Right. Yeah.
Because the whole point is right in the name, publicist.
This is all weird. This is all weird, Matt.
If you want the kid to write a book,
the weirder this shit's getting.
Yeah.
If you want the kid to write a book and keep it a secret, then have the kid join the Masons.
You keep peeling back the layers of stink here. We're gonna get to. We should beat this woman into a confession.
Yeah, have the kid join the Masons or the Rosicrucians where they can keep a secret. Don't put it out there.
I just want to say, for the sake of the lawyers, I'm just kidding about this. I'm not even really accusing her of this. I have no proof of this. All I'm saying is, I feel like I was in doubt that she wrote the book.
It is suspicious.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe we just sold more copies, 3 more copies for people who go like, well, let's see. Did the kid write the book?
And to be honest with you, here's the other thing that was in the back of my mind. For the last 2 weeks, every day I'm getting these marketing emails about an AI app that will write children's books for you. All you have to do is give it prompts, and it will write the children's book for you.
Camel and space?
Yeah, like that, like exactly like that.
How many camels?
No,
the last camel.
What the story was put together like they do on the Tonight Show. Like pick an animal, pick a location, pick a job.
Right.
So in space. Now, which camel is this? It's the last camel. Okay. Yeah. Now let's write the book.
Oh, this was the first camel in space, not the last.
That camel's named Joe.
I think after this book, no other camels are going to want to go.
That's true. That's true. But you doesn't know the first thing about camels or the first thing about space, which
Oh yeah, you talking about me or the kid?
No, the kid. The kid.
I was like about camels in space. Don't be tested by my camel astronaut knowledge. Don't be doing it.
Well, I was kind of probing the kid a little bit, trying to, as he was running around the room.
Listen,
don't say probe the kid. I know.
Yes, don't.
I was trying to question the kid.
I don't understand. You can say that now on the Gov's channel, but I can't say but you can say you were probing a kid.
Probing the kid. Yeah. Let's all get together and probe the kid live on My Dog
No,
TV.
no, let's not do
I
that.
just want to let everybody know it was great being on the show. I was glad to be a part of it while it was here.
Did you see? Did you see?
C in Willie stands for camel.
Now, GD, I'm assuming you watched the State of the Union last night.
I watched the State of the Union and the Republican response.
Oh my
I
God!
didn't even know it was happening, man.
Well, here's what you missed, Willie. Joe Biden went, get off my lawn, and then he was angry and pointing his finger a lot, doing the angry old man stuff. Hey, he made some good points, but he was angry. There's no doubt about it. There's no confusion that he was just an angry old man.
Well, they woke him up from his nap. Of course,
he wasn't angry because he wasn't angry. There was anger and there was rage, but I think it was a dignified rage. It wasn't like.
All right, go. You're being a Biden apologist. He was angry.
No, I'm not being a Biden apologist. I am being a don't throw the baby out with the bathwater kind of guy.
I'm not throwing the baby out. I'm trying to be honest about what
baby. Don't throw the old man out with the ointment kind of guy.
Right. All right. So, but I'm just being honest. For people who did not see it, that's what basically. If you and you're not politically astute and not really knowing about all the issues, what you saw was Jeff Dunham's puppet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What you saw was Jeff Dunham's old man Walter puppet. Like,
okay, yeah. If you're not astute in politics and have no idea what's been happening in the past 4 to 8 years, then yeah, you may have heard an angry old man. But if you have an idea, but those people wouldn't be watching anyway. They'll wait for the pundits to tell them which.
There's been a lot of reaction to it, but you know what? They're told what the reaction is. I even posted that on Facebook. A lot of people would not watch it, but wait for their favorite cable news telling them what he said and what to think about what he said.
Right. Yeah.
Our first guest is Matthew Hooper. There's 2 of them, and neither one of them are here.
You should have gotten the band Mato Hooper, and you'd had a better chance than with any of the Mato Hoopers.
I should have had Hooper. We should have had Leanna Linsky on at 9:15, and then I could get in the car and probably see. The last time Sam was on with me, he was driving through the mountains and
he went dead. Yeah,
he went dead. But we also heard like a semi going right before he went dead. So it sounded like he either hit a truck on the road, and we didn't hear from him again for weeks after that. I was putting his face on milk cartons. So that could happen to me if I try to drive to Govs today. But if Leanne Linsky was here now. But going back to the State of the Union. So Biden did his thing. They basically, the Republicans were saying, wow, we missed the dignified, calm, and professional speaker that Trump was. Dignified and keeping his temper and not angry that Trump represents them. Anyway, the follow-up was this Katie Britt person, Senator.
I think her actual name is Senator Katie Stepford wife Britt.
Yeah.
She's
like an AI version of Lauren Boebert. She's an AI version of Lauren Boebert. She put on this, like she's had some very rudimental acting lessons.
Yes, that's exactly what I said to my wife in real time. That is what I said to my wife in real time. That she's done some high school acting.
For me, it felt like I was already watching the Saturday Night Live parody of it in real time.
That's the other thing I said to my wife. Were you listening to? Maybe it wasn't my wife invented me last night.
That microphone you got planted in this house is really paying off.
Yeah, that's why you're not sleeping, Matt. That was not my wife next to me. That was you having to listen to me.
No, I'm not laying down next to you. It's not happening.
Oh my God! Can you imagine hearing GD in your sleep?
That's what I'm saying. That's why Matt can't sleep.
That's probably part of the problem. But even the hardcore MAGA people, pundits, had the same reaction. One of them, Jesse Kelly. Now, not what I'd prefer of a GOP response, but there's no question Katie Britt has mastered the ultimate weapon of dimes everywhere and the fake cry.
Yes.
Jack Poso says Katie Britt. Did Katie Britt even mention Trump once? He was pissed that she didn't mention Trump. Andrew Torba, Katie Britt should have been tucking her kids into bed, not giving a melodramatic speech. Steve
What the fuck?
Steve DC, I decided to go back. These are all Republicans, by the way, hardcore in her corner people. I decided to go back and watch the Katie Britt's State of the Union response. I can't believe it's real. It's the worst and most cringe political performance I've ever seen and wasn't a fictional portrayal. I never, George Behezi, I never want to see Katie Britt anywhere near a mic ever again. Laura Loomer, who was Trump's butt for the last 8 years, 10 years, whatever. Why is Katie Britt's voice like that? She's really trying to get an Oscar? It's just too weird to watch. I had to shut it off.
But you know what is going to happen? Within the next 3 months, there's going to be a slew of porn parodies of a woman that looks just like her who answers the door.
I think there has to be one today. Just one, two more.
Bad? Well, they could do it, but they got to edit it and they got to do the sounds. That's
yeah. You just go to a motel, get some cheap dopey woman, and you could have it done by noon today.
Yeah, they shot it last night, but they have to do the quality and the and the health stuff, right? That takes a while. You can't just listen. You can shoot it in one night, but you got to do the post production.
I'm just spitballing here, but maybe she did it like that because she didn't really want to do it. Like she was like the one.
Oh, she wanted to do it. She was going for an Oscar. She definitely was trying to impress the world with her acting skills. It was just, you got to watch it, Willie. I promise you, it is.
I'll give it a look.
The award for the most breathy presidential response goes to Senator Kate Britt out of Alabama.
Yes. Was it Joe Biden?
Oh my God. Okay, I'll watch it.
Charlie Kirk says, I'm sure Kate.
It can't be that bad.
Charlie Kirk says, oh, it can be that bad. Charlie Kirk says, I'm sure Katie Britt is a sweet mom and a person, but the speech is not what we need. Joe Biden just declared war on America on the American right, and Katie Britt is talking like she's hosting a cooking show, whispering about how Democrats don't get it.
Oh my God.
One last one. This is from the other side. This is from Tom Arnold, Roseanne Barr's ex-husband. He says, Katie Britt is so bad she couldn't be in one of my movies.
You mean to tell me that she couldn't have been in Exit Wounds?
I'm telling you, man, it was something to behold. It was the definition of cringe personified. Anyway, so that's what you missed if you missed the State of the Union. You know what?
According to Matt, I have a different viewpoint, but that's okay.
What is your different viewpoint? You missed. You're going to say favorable things about Biden. There are plenty of people saying favorable things about Biden. Even some Republicans came out and said some. But there's no denying that he was angry. He was angry and pointing his finger a lot. Look at the tape. Basically, he's doing this.
Well, if you look at the highlights, but if you watch like the whole 1 hour and 4 or 5 minute thing, he didn't spend that much time. He spent a lot of time holding on to the podium so that he wouldn't fall over like this.
Yeah,
but
he was doing a lot of young, but here's the hypocrisy of it.
That's also how he talks. I think that's how he controls the stutter. Maybe I'm not sure.
No, it was contrived. It was definitely on purpose because before the speech, the GOP was saying he doesn't have the energy to get through it. He has no stamina. He can't even deliver a speech. So he went out there to show I can be up, and this was he was showing Doc Brandon. That's what he was doing. But then they complained. Why is he yelling so much? Why is he so animated? Like, because you challenged him to be. That's why.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I can see that.
So, yeah. So, but the whatever he could have given the worst speech ever, and she would have erased all memory of it with her cringe performance. It's something. And now I don't watch Saturday Night Live, but I almost feel like I'm compelled to see what they do with this because it's
Yeah,
going to
no,
be.
I'm pretty interested. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that's got to be. She's got to be the star of the show. Whoever's hosting, forget about them.
It's probably going to be their open.
Right now there are 8 different writers of a Saturday Night Live, and they're all writing this bit, and they're like saying, "No, we can't have like dueling Katie Brits. We can't be doing." Maybe they will have because they have 2 people who both want to do the Katie Britt, and they're having like dueling Katie Brits, like maybe I don't know.
Could happen. Now she's from Alabama, right? Or I mean,
yes,
yeah.
Alabama. Alabama. Yeah.
So I wonder if she came with a banjo on her knee.
Probably came with something on her knee, but
yeah. Hey,
they're already starting to do AI dopey takes on. I just looked at one and it was like, whoa, with the duck lip thing. Katie Britt with duck face. She was unknown yesterday. Now she's famous for all the wrong reasons. Now I'm wondering.
For all the wrong reasons.
I'm wondering how because if that were me, I had a bad enough experience with being on with a kid Wednesday night that I can't sleep over it because I feel like I've embarrassed myself to the point of I don't want to live anymore. If anybody ever sees that fucking video, so I can't imagine if she actually thinks she did well. If you killed it, but she got to be reading the response.
Her husband said her husband probably goes, "Honey, you did great. You look really nice. You look really sexy in that whatever the green outfit. You look really, really hot." Shut up, John, or whatever his name is. He probably.
The other thing about this thing, though, but I think it's kind of hard because they all were reacting negatively. Like, who is it? They could even tell that this was like a soap opera performance. But I think because the strategy here was to have her win back the women who might be concerned about Roe v. Wade or all that kind of stuff.
IVF and stuff like that. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But I think women will hate her.
I think independent thinking women would hate her.
But
they probably feel like this is what gives us a bad name. Like a woman like you gets the spotlight and does something like that with it. You know what I mean? You make people you give people ammunition for their arguments.
Yeah.
You know, they're stupid ass arguments, but it's ammunition for them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, the one thing she was hammering home to them, the message, whoever wrote the speech, the message is
her 8-year-old kid wrote it.
No, you're living in a nightmare. That's what she kept saying. You are living in a nightmare. Joe Biden, end this nightmare now. And like she's telling people her potential voters for the GOP that they are living in a nightmare. And I'm wondering how many of them are just nodding and saying, yeah, this is a nightmare, while they get their boat ready to go hunting or fishing this week or you know, go to the timeshare. We're living in a nightmare. Life is so bad in America. Honey, do we have any more of that pie? You know,
this is a real nightmare. Give me another beer, babe.
Yeah. Get me another Bud Light that I'm not supposed to be drinking.
Oh, and call the pool boy and tell him not so much chlorine in the pool this time.
That's a question. How many people? Because I asked on Twitter last night, how many of you people are really living a nightmare? I just want to know. Do you feel like you're living a nightmare? Because you could find out what a nightmare looks like. Really, there are plenty of places you can go. Go to Haiti and tell me you're living in a nightmare.
Oh my Lord, yes. That scares me. Haiti scares me because I could have people over there and I just don't know it.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you definitely have hair down there. Or anyway, yeah. So what did you do yesterday? You didn't have another funeral, did you?
No, doctor.
The colon thing?
No. I've been having some other issues that's kind of concerning me. And so it's serious enough that I went to go see a doctor about it. And the doctor looked at me and went, ooh, that shouldn't happen. So let's run some more tests on March 28th. I said, okay.
You're doomed. I'm sorry to tell you, you're doomed.
Yeah, when he started the sentence with "ooh," that shouldn't
No,
happen.
it's fuck the ooh stuff. I'm not concerned about the ooh. I'm concerned about the tests. The minute they start doing tests, your life is over. Your life is over. You might
Oh,
that
it's the cat.
because they're gonna find if they find nothing wrong with you, they're gonna keep testing until they find something wrong with you, and then we got to do surgery. You got to remove your ipsocabloblast.
I had that removed when I was 30.
But at the minute they cut you open to move that, they're going to cut you open with a knife that has been contaminated with the latest leprosy.
It's not that the knife they cut you open is contaminated with. It's the knife they used to cut you open. They left inside you when they sewed you back up.
All of that.
That's actually
the minute they get you in the system, you become their.
You think I have that kind of my insurance is not like that. I don't have insurance, so they're going to spend a lot of money on me like that. They're going to give me the instructions and have me do it myself. So I'm pretty sure I'm in good hands. I'm not leaving anything inside of me.
Yeah. Did you watch the show yesterday, though, GD? Did you watch it back or anything? Because we talked a lot about how much we missed you.
I was in the doctor's
No, we talked so much about how much we missed you. You should really watch it.
I'm pretty sure you did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my name didn't come up one time in a good way.
No, it did. It did a couple of times.
I said in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way.
As soon as I said I couldn't be there, within 30 seconds of me saying I couldn't be there, Ron was in the comment saying, "GD, you needed somebody to come in, you need a replacement." It's like it wasn't even like 30 seconds in. He's like, I'm ready now. Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
It was like I didn't. And Brady.
I was remiss. I was remiss because I didn't even give him a hard time about why he didn't show up a week before that. But I did open the program with, I feel like the New York Yankees, we made a great trade. We got, I don't know, Aaron Judge for Minnie Minoso or whatever I said.
It was like Bloodsill and Brady. As soon as I got out, he was like, put me in, coach. And you'll never get his fucking job back. Tuck roll. I mean, he was like all in that shit.
Yeah. But Ron did a good job. You know what? I told Ron he's welcome back anytime. I mean, I'm not opposed to having more people on the show. I mean, it's already a little difficult with us talking over each other anyway, but he definitely waits. He's very patient to take a shot, so he's definitely welcome in.
And he's also informed. I like Ron is one of the few comedians I like talking to about things other than comedy. Because he's informed, and sometimes when he brought up Haiti, I was still thinking about something else. I was like a little unaware. I found out about the Haiti gang stuff through Ron, just through regular conversation. I'm like, what? But what? What?
Yeah.
I had to Google. I'm like, hold up, Ron. Let me catch up with what you're. Oh, speaking of catch,
I have a.
You were talking about.
I have a number of friends that go to Haiti every year.
You were talking about Catch 22, being a like a smart book guy. Are you aware that the original book was not called Catch 22? It was called Catch 18.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there was at the same time there was something else called with Catch 22 in the title. It wasn't as popular. I mean with Catch 18 in the title. And so they went from they changed it from Catch 18 to Catch 22.
I still don't get the how the numbers play into that whole scenario.
I think if they stayed Catch 18, it probably made more sense, but they just changed the title to Catch 22 without changing the rest of the book.
Yeah,
so
that's one of the things that a book title became a lexicon of language and has a whole new meaning to it.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that it's like somebody having a comedy set. And they have all these callbacks to the first joke, but they change the first joke and they don't change the callbacks.
Yeah. So last night I had the reels. AI do 2 reels for me. One about the lasting impact of George Carlin on modern day comedy. I think about the complicated influence of George Carlin on modern comedy, and the other about Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield's far-reaching influence on comedy. The Rodney Dangerfield clip outscored the Carlin clip by about 750 to 1.
Wow.
I know,
Wow.
right?
What about the quality of the two clips? I mean, I didn't see either one of them
It's
yet.
basically it's AI written script, so you know what to. It's basically they're very similar in tone and the voiceover and all that stuff. Now Ian hates the old or AI voices, and I agree with them. The AI voices suck. I could get a better AI voicer, but the one I'm using is I paid a lifetime fee, one time lifetime membership type thing for this AI voice generated, and I got, so I'm sticking with that. The other one is Revoicer is really good, but it's like $119 a month. I don't know, like invest
Oh
in
my
that.
Lord.
Yeah.
I miss the good old days when you could just spend like, $500 and just own it outright, and then maybe once a year get an update. But this subscription shit is just getting out of fucking hand.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, you
but
got, you got to get a
the one I
subscription
got,
every
AI
6 months.
Talkie, it was 1995 for a lifetime, but it's just not that. You can tell it's AI,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
if you do really good. The other one is pretty impressive. I don't think you could tell. But you know what? I could just read them myself if it really came down to that. It's only a minute. But but I'm just surprised that Rodney outscored Carlin 750-1. It's amazing to
I'm
see.
just curious who they also aimed it at as far as the audience goes. But
Yeah, it's all
I
up to YouTube. It's
yeah. Now
and not just YouTube, all the platforms that push the shit.
I saw I didn't hear it because I was in the doctor's office and I didn't have my earbuds with me. So I saw the cartoon version you did of one of the guests, a woman with the dark hair.
That
That
wasn't a
you
woman. That was John Pavarama.
right. Because I saw the cartoon version first, and I
Yeah.
thought that's an ugly woman. And then it took me right. You're right. It took me a while. It took me a while to reverse engineer because I didn't see the actual
Yeah.
starting point because it morphs into the cartoon, right?
Yeah.
And I think I caught it mid morph.
Mid morph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Well,
mid
there are two
life.
versions out there. There's one where it morphs in, and then there's one where it just starts with the cartoon stuff.
This was
But
morphing. I could tell it was morphing,
yeah,
and matter of fact, I didn't even have to see the who did it, who did the posting. As soon as I saw it, because of what you did with the other one, I recognized the style instantly, and I said, "This is one of Matt's." But I didn't have my earbuds, so I couldn't hear the audio. I didn't want to take the risk of putting the audio out in the waiting room, and
right.
then having people like, "Excuse me, sir, what you just did was offensive. We're gonna have to ask you to leave." I say, "But I'm still waiting for an exam. I could be dying here." "Yeah, but that lady or man, very ugly woman, just offended me. You have to let them go."
Woman. Just for the record, what he was talking about there was how insensitive I was because um, he actually knew Richard Lewis and called Richard Lewis a friend. And I started out by saying Richard Lewis, who just passed away, I wasn't really a fan of his when he was
Yeah.
alive. That's how I
Yeah.
started it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I know.
Fucking Jesus. This guy.
But I was the point I was making was I was regretful that I wasn't a big fan of his while he
Yeah,
was alive.
you did. Yeah, you did immediately say it. Like no. Like I looked into, now looking into him more. I wish I would have paid more attention. Yeah,
Yeah, but I could see the minute I said Richard Lewis, he went, "Oh," and then he heard me talking. He was like, "What the fuck?" He's like bashing this guy.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to say something nice about him. Only you would start out with, "Oh, Richard Lewis, who just passed away." I wasn't a fan of that fucking guy. But anyway, here's the
That
thing.
guy-
You have to.
that guy, fuck that fucking guy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you did it like Will just did. Yeah, if you had done it like Will, I can see that. Some people, but to be honest, some people just get offended when other people don't like the people they like.
Right.
And I don't. I just accept the fact that I don't even get offended when people don't like me. I understand that some people have different tastes.
Yeah.
I don't take it. It's not a judgment on me. If you don't like who I like, you don't.
No, I get it. But in John's defense, he wasn't that way when we were talking about Metzger, because he's a friend of Metzger, and I've been very critical of Metzger. He said, "No, you made some good points about it," but he likes Kurt Metzger. John's a complicated guy, but
no one understands him but his woman.
that's true. He will never take the side of a comedy club, or he even said this. He very rarely take the side of a comedy club, because and this is what I kind of almost want to talk to Leanne Litsky about, is this idea that for most of my life, it was us against them. It was the talent versus the club owners. But at some point, I started to realize if you work with them in the business sense, you're going to do better for yourself and understand that you're a part of the business. You're partners with them. Now, you may not take a fair cut all the time, but if you can establish that relationship with them, you're going to make a lot more money understanding that you're part of the business thing, rather than treating them as an adversary. And so with that whole Seattle Comedy Club thing, his view was it's a comedy club. They're the bad guys. We're the good guys. And I was like, well, that's not a it's not a productive outcome in the long term, because you're always going to see them.
Wear the proper hats.
I'm a little bit nervous about mentioning this, but that's probably because I don't know if I should mention it or not. And so I'm going to just face my nervousness. And the myself and the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll producing a 90-minute live version of his show in May, with like a live studio audience for a club,
like a congregation.
Yeah, with live studio audience.
Where are you getting the live studio audience from? Is this your backup audience?
We're still digging them up.
Still digging them up.
Oh, so it's not.
So, I feel like for that promo, you should call Katie Britt to read the promo for you.
But the show is called the show is basically it's like a pilot for many shows, and it's called It's called Blessings and Blasphemy. Yeah. Because they said they said this is all we're asking from you. The title has to be short and sweet, and because I'm known for long titles, long truncated comedy titles, short title with a long explanation, that kind of shit. But
right. Well, the reason somebody on this program said this, the reason for the long titles in books is SEO. So if you want to, the more words, keywords you have in the title, the more easier that you're going to be able to be found in the digital world. It's kind of fucked up where we're forced to create art based on how the algorithm is going to show us to people. That's not a good. That's not a good outcome.
My thing was like I started doing it because like my wife and I would have like two different ideas for a title, and I said, well, I'll use them both. And then I'd figure out how to use both in the title, so it go from like I was working on a book, and it was called The Truth. I was working on the book, and I was calling it The Truth Behind the Lines. And what it is it lists my jokes and short stories and then what happened in the real world to inspire the jokes and short stories. And then my wife wanted me to call it Don't Buy This Book If You're Stupid. And so the book that I'm working on is called The Truth Behind the Lines, parentheses, don't buy this book if you're stupid, close parentheses.
Well, that SEO, it works. I mean, with all that stuff. But it kind of, your wife's idea kind of reminds me of Abby Hoffman, Steal This Book. I put that out for Matt Knudsen because Knudsen, I always say Knudsen. Matt Knudsen was in the library in LA and found this book there, and he was showing it off. I was like, well, that's good, but somebody should go steal that book so they have to buy another one. So it's a good read, though. His book is really good.
Yesterday, while I was standing in line at the pharmacy, a woman walked up to me and she goes, "You're G.D. Fenderson, aren't you?" And I looked at the woman and I said, "Okay, a white woman. She wants to touch my hair." Yeah, I immediately started thinking immediately, because that's what happens so often. It's like my hair. It's like your hair. So but usually they don't know me by name, and I should have realized that. And so I said, "Yes, yes, I am." And she goes, you don't know me." And then she introduced herself. She goes, "You're hilarious." And it was a good thing we were at the pharmacy because we could dose her right there to find out.
Was she like really old?
It sounds like she already got this.
100%. Maybe she was. Yeah, well, she was still waiting for her meds. She was in the waiting seat.
She was on some already. She was definitely on some already.
She was missing her meds. She was
coincidentally enough. Yesterday, I was at the proctologist, and as he was sticking his fingers in my ass, he said, "You're G.D. Fenderson, aren't you?" I was like, "No."
What the?
He said, "Wait a minute! I think I found some of his material."
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's where you've been getting it, Matt Naplin's ass.
And we call it, and we call that the aristocrats.
No wonder it stinks. Oh boy!
Oh god! Quality entertainment, folks. You're welcome.
Now, yeah. Now, Willie, what are your plans next week? Coming because Friday you're coming in Thursday. You're gonna be
I'll
burnt
be
out
in Thursday morning.
You're gonna be burnt out after that trip. I have to tell you. I know. You say you could sleep anywhere, and you probably will sleep on the overnight. But just the time difference, the jet lag, you're gonna feel something on Thursday, and you're probably not gonna.
I don't know. I mean, I keep a pretty. I don't know. I adjust well. You know what I mean? And
right.
When I lag a little bit, I just grab a Monster. You know what I mean?
Are you planning your itinerary now? Like where you're going to go? Like your Thursday?
Yeah, I'm trying to because I'm going to stay in Brooklyn. It looks like one of the cheaper places to stay is going to be in Brooklyn. So I'm trying to solidify that today to make sure because I was looking to see the place that I want to stay at. I was seeing how far that was from the Knock 'em Dead place. That's where I wanted to make sure the studio was at for the Governors because I'll be morning.
Governors and Long Island sucks for public transportation. First of all, I mean, it's.
I don't even think that's. I don't think it's that far from where I'll be staying though. I think it's
not in terms of miles, but in terms of traveling time from Brooklyn. Because you got Brooklyn traffic during the daytime, even anytime after 6 a.m. Is just like insane. It's there's no other way of putting it. It's fucking insane.
You have to be a professional cab driver to navigate that shit.
A cab from Brooklyn to Levittown would be about $300.
Yeah, but I'm just saying as far as navigating the actual traffic itself. Level.
Yeah, and there is the public transportation there's basically none. If you wanted to do it by bus or train, my God, it's just a fucking nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. Long Island and Brooklyn is actually part of Long Island, but to get from say Park Slope to Levittown on a weekday, oh my God, it's hell. It's hell. You might as well take a camel, the first camel in space. It's a tough one. Yeah. So no, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. I think you're probably going to have to prepare that to get on the road by like 6 a.m. Friday morning to get to the studio by 10. That's crazy. He starts at 11, so you actually, but you don't. Longer you wait, the worse the traffic is going to get. I'm telling you, traffic.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can't imagine. You've been to LA. You've seen LA traffic.
Oh,
but it's like LA rush hour traffic. Basically, it's like that 4 hour on that 4 p.m. on the LA freeway. That's what it's like everywhere.
I've been on the 101 before. I mean, like it's.
Yeah, but Brooklyn is not freeways. It's all like little 1-lane streets or 2-lane streets, and oh my God, it's just a fucking.
Right, but what I mean is that, like, I know what it is to have traffic.
Yeah. So, but I think even in LA, oddly enough, I think they have better mass transit than Long Island does. Long Island, New York City has great.
I used the Red Line a lot when I was in LA. Like that because I lived in the San Fernando Valley. I was living in like Reseda and shit, and so I would use the Red Line a lot to get to North Hollywood and into Hollywood and stuff like that.
Where's all these people coming from? We're getting a lot of people on Twitter lately. It's kind of weird, but they don't use the chat on Twitter. I think the twat, the twat.
The twat. The twat on Twitter.
Okay, folks, I'm out. I think the chat is tied in now. We would see the chat, but they're not using it. And like the other night with the kid, I had like 58 people on Twitter watching. I'm like, oh God, this is so fucking embarrassing. Could you just not watch tonight?
I have a question for you, Matt, real quick. Are you leaving at 9:30 for the thing with Sam Talent?
I'm already gone. 9:30 is already passed.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Are you leaving at 9:30 for
No,
that?
no, that wasn't the plan. It wasn't 9:30. It was like more like I was going to introduce this Leanna Linsky and see if I could take the
Did
show
you let
with
them
me in
know
the
you're
car.
not coming?
No.
Might want to do that.
Well, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
I guess so.
I you know what? Sam will interpret it as me being revengeful because
it's like my wife. It's like my wife and I having sex. She'll let me. I don't have to. She doesn't have to tell me she's not coming. I'll figure it out.
right. Well, Sam has been on with me many times, but we were scheduled 2 years ago, August 30th, 2022. We were scheduled. And he didn't show up. I was sitting there. That's my birthday, by the way. So that's why I remember the date. Scheduled, and I was waiting for him, and he didn't show up. And I was a little upset. And then it turned out he had a house fire. So we rescheduled. We rescheduled it for like a couple of weeks later, and then he didn't show up. And I was pissed. And then it turned out his mom died that night. So
my God.
So then the third time
I would just stop scheduling with you. Fucking
exactly.
Shit just happens anytime.
Well, 3 on a match, right? The third time he was on for like 3 minutes and then drove off a mountain, and then I didn't hear from him for 2 weeks. So I think we're beyond the jinx now. But I'm certain if I don't show up there, he will take that as, oh, he's just being like a revengeful fuck. No, it's just. You know what? I'll see. What is the actual time that?
But you may not be. That's just it. He'd be looking at it wrong. You're not revengeful. You're just big timing him.
Okay.
You're big. What?
Yeah, you're big timing him. Like I don't have time for Sam Talent.
Oh my God, no!
I'm too big for that.
Matt would
I will always have time for Sam Talent.
I'm just saying.
See, exactly.
I'm just trying to look at another option other than revenge.
No,
okay?
but he would, because of the past, he would probably think, oh, he's just it's payback. It's payback for me not showing up a couple of times.
And I'm just trying to give another option. That's all. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying. Right. It's like a defense attorney giving an alternative theory to the case.
Okay. So according to the app, it's 56 minutes. I find that hard to believe in rush hour because it is kind of rush hour right now. 56 minutes for me to be there. So if I leave at right now it's about 10. If I left now, I would get there at 11 just in time for the show to start, according to the app. You guys think I should go, don't you?
I have no idea. I am not the type of person to tell people what to do.
I think it would be beneficial in furthering, the things we're trying to do. It would certainly, increase our friendship with governors, I think.
Yeah, that could be. I would like to see the studio.
You already stopped me from saying bad words before they're off the air. What else could we do?
Oh yeah. So I guess are you on? I think Squeaky is on Twitter, probably, right?
Yeah. That's X. Yep. That's a Twitter comment. Yay!
Very good.
Twitter or X or whatever you want to call yourself.
So
we're not trying to label you.
Yeah, the chat is working over there. Maybe we should take a vote on it. Let the chat rooms decide. Should I head out now or should I wait 15 minutes till Leanne Linsky gets here, introduce her, then try to take the show on the road with me? I would take the phone with me in the car. Let you guys. Now, do you guys know enough about what she's doing to ask her about what she's doing?
I didn't research it this time because you gave me specific orders to stop researching guests, so I don't research anymore.
Not research, but
so the only thing I know is that she's in the second because The first was taken up by someone else, so she's in the second.
All right. Well, let me tell you really quickly, because I didn't do any research about her either. She's a former comedian and now an entrepreneur. She's founded a site called Plausible, which is for comedians, both live and digital form stuff, ways for them to, get bookings, post shows, whether they're in digital or their calendar for selling tickets and stuff like that. So Plausible is her site, and she started.
Are you writing this down, Will?
That's all we need to know. Come on, it's not nothing you need to write down. I just told you, plausible.com, and there is one in her. The link is in the description and in the banners here. If you go to banners, it's the bottom banner. This one, plausible.com.
Yeah. I did push that, and I
could just leave that running. Now, if she pops in, you guys know how to add her to the stream, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you take your and you shake it like that. That should do it.
Yes, Matt. I know
that's how you configure it, right?
I did it when we had Pam and Tim on. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
On Warden Lady.
I
did that properly.
Okay. Good. Now, you know how to end govs at 10:45.
Like an Etch-a-Sketch. You just pick up.
I would imagine they're the G, right?
The G, right up on the top. You just click on that and then remove.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm going to try this then. I think, and you know how to end the program.
Yes.
You hit end stream twice.
End stream twice, but you want to play the turn on your radio thing, right?
Yeah.
I think Matt. I think Billy and I are just going to sing it a cappella.
What are the words?
Talk over the whole thing. Like
turn on your radio. Turn on the blah blah blah.
Trying to walk around. Who the hell are you?
Blah 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 radio.
Trying to walk around. Who the hell are you?
Right, he can sing the lead, and I'll just do the doo-wop parts.
All right,
don't worry.
Doo-wop.
All right,
I'll do all the, and I'll do like and the song says, and the color girls say do.
That's a different song altogether.
Oh my God.
I'm just trying to get my shit here together, and you know what? I'm going to take the edibles with me.
So you don't.
No, not for me. Not for me. For Sam.
So he won't sleep.
Well, no, Sam can take more drugs than he's bigger than a mountain. I don't think if I gave him all these edibles, he might not feel it. I got 2 cans of edibles here. He might not feel a thing from eating both cans. That's how big he is. I don't even know the proper dosage for a mountain like that. I think I'm going to go. You guys talked me into going. Now, if you fuck it up, the penance will be I'm going to make you interview that kid from the other night. Each of you will have to.
Penance for us or for the kid? It sounds like you're trying to punish the kid still.
That would be punishment for the kid. It would be punishment for everybody. It would be punishment for you. It would be punishment for the kid and anybody who ever watched.
Are you kidding? I could try out some of my kid jokes.
Go ahead, try one out. Well, wait till after I leave. Please, no, wait till after I'm out of here. All right.
And that should wait till Gov is gone also, because even though they're kid jokes, kids shouldn't hear them.
How about choosing the right background? Can you and moving? You know how to move people around?
Yeah.
So if I wanted to move you up here, you know how to do that. Switch between you and GD, Willie.
I think you just drag them, right?
That's correct. Let's see. There you go. Now you know how to change these kind of things.
Yeah.
You know how to do that?
Over on this.
On the bottom.
Aren't you doing it on this one? Whoa. Why did I do that?
What?
Why did you do that? What's this
one?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look how big I am.
Yeah.
I'm a big man.
We could put her like that.
You could do that. Either way, so you
know
how to do it.
And then have me and GD. Yeah.
All right. We probably should have done this earlier in the hour, but I think we're close. I think you guys got it. Well, you could do that.
Why is it like that one? Why is it? Is it that one? Okay, it's that one. Okay.
Yeah. This one is actually good for reels if you ever want to, think about reels because they're already in real format, like straight up and down. So
you just have to know
AI
that what we're about to do is for real in advance.
Trying to walk around and who the hell are you?
We can say like, Will, that was really funny. Let's redo that for the real, and then we'll change the format and redo it.
Well, Kelly loves the column, so don't do the columns. All right, so I'm gonna wait. And the background here, maybe while you guys are just doing it, I'm gonna switch to this background. You couldn't even see that I just switched to this background. But if you go to and background, it's towards the bottom. You got 1, 2, and abstract endless. Right now, I got the one that's got the.
What the hell just happened?
I pulled myself out so I could show you the subscribe button.
You know we can't hear you when you pull yourself out.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So the subscribe button up on the top, like that. Anyway, so I'm out of here. You guys, good luck, and don't break my shit. That's all I'm saying. Don't break my shit. All right.
What if this lady doesn't show up?
Yeah. So Willie, you know which one to use to end this show, right? It's called.
Yes.
It's all the way up on the top. Turn on the radio.
Yeah, I got it. Yep, I know.
Yeah, if the lady does, if Leanne Linsky does not show up, then you just kind of challenge GD to act like you're the kid, and you can just run around like and pull your mom's hair and
try to put a wig on them.
I'm great at this kind of role playing.
Yeah, no, you can just
when I'm
just make him tell bad jokes.
When I was in the 12-step group, we had a chairperson training day. And one of the things we had to do was we had to common problems that happen during a meeting that a chairperson might have to deal with. And so we were role playing some of those situations. And I was role playing like this single mom had brought her kid to the meeting, and I was supposed to be the disruptive kid. Oh my God. It was fucking It was pandemonium in that fucking room. You cannot tell me to act like a fucking unruly child. Oh man.
So the first thing we'll do is once you're gone is Willie and I will spend 20 minutes discussing which songs we should pick, which songs we should have the audience talk about or look for, song themes.
All right, you can do that. So I'm getting out of here now. I will try to put it on in the phone, and now I'm going to be the one who's lagging and cutting out and all that stuff. But it should be an interesting thing. You guys,
what you do is attach the phone to the middle of the steering wheel. That way we can see your face. So
and if and when we're done, when you're off, Gov, if you want to do critical joke there, you guys want to go for the rest of the fucking day.
I didn't finish writing critical jokes there.
Good. But if you want to go 24 hours, you're welcome to do that. Whatever you want to fucking do after that.
You want me to run an ad before we bring her on?
That would be good.
And what ad?
Yeah, but I would not. Don't go with the sex thing because we don't know.
Right. You want me to do
you could do Leon one? You could do Leon Newman. You know what? There is $140 all access thing for True Fire if you want to do True Fire. This month they're running this special $140 for it's normally $259. $140 for the all access to True Fire. I got to get out of here, man. I got a lot of driving to do. I'm out.
Go get.
All right. Cool.
I'm looking for that True Fire one real quick.
All right. No sweat.
Tracy Dog.
So when on your last Lord with the ladies.
True Fire is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fifth one up from Carl. Use this to start. You see at the bottom of the videos. Use this to start, and then you got New Coffee, Tracy's Dog, Daily High, True Fire.
Yeah, learn practice play. Got it. All right, cool. What were you saying, GD?
I went through all that trouble to ask you about your show, to think, to act. You know how hard it is for me to pretend that I care about your show on Tuesday nights, and you sit there and ignore the fact that I asked you a question about it. This is, damn it! Don't make me pretend I care.
I'm so sorry.
All right.
No, Matt broke in. Also, that broke my concentration. What about the show though? Yeah, which this last episode?
I don't get to see you. I don't get to see your Tuesday night shows because I'm doing like a comedy thing.
Yeah, you do a show on Tuesdays. Yeah.
Yes,
no, it's fun. I mean, What we talked? We have two new segments. We do two segments on our show. One
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, which is generally it's like news that my wife shares. This kind of like chick news shit that I'm never gonna care about. So that's why it's, shut the fuck up. Like, no way. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what that's for. And then another one.
There's one about smiles or behind the smile.
Yeah, it's called Behind the Smile. So my wife has been in the service industry like pretty much her whole life since she was like 15 or whatever. She's been a server at many different restaurants, been a trainer for serving. And so Behind the Smile is like stories of restaurants, crazy restaurant stories, basically, of stuff that goes on in restaurants that they either shield from the customer or and the reason we call it Behind the Smile is because my wife she's got like a superpower of being able to be like super pissed and then like turning around, putting that smile on and going and talking to her table like just sweet as pie. And
as a husband, does that scare you? That
it's frightening. It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
See her like yelling at you and then turn around to somebody that she likes at the moment and she puts a smile on. Yeah.
I used to call it parental Tourette's because my mom was real good at that, because like she'd be having like a regular conversation with an adult. You stop doing that right now. And then she'd just go back to her conversation like regular, like so it was, I've seen it for a long time. You know what I mean? I think that maybe oddly, it might be one of the things that actually attracts me to her, which is weird. I don't know how to explain
the unstableness.
A little bit.
The sudden unpredictability, the hidden threat of danger.
Yeah. If I don't know, I might wake up to her hitting me. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like we got to keep this exciting.
Now, I'm gonna look through the list of song categories that I sent to the Matt guy, and we'll see if there's anything that we like that we could. Where's the Matt guy? Here's the Matt guy. But for those of you who are just tuning in and don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Willie and Matt and I have like this little thread. It's just the three of us, and Leanne is in the room. Leanne is here.
Yeah, our guest has shown up. So we should probably run that True Fire ad and get to introducing her then. All right. So if you're looking to up your music game, you can go to True Fire and they have what did he say the ad was right now? They have like $150 special right now.
And let's not quote the wrong price because then people might let them tell.
Right.
If they screw up the price.
Okay. Well, if you go to minddogtv.com and you click on the True Fire ad, you can get some savings through the MindDog TV universe. So check out True Fire right now.
Okay, and before you hit the
Over 2 million guitar players worldwide learn, practice, and play with TrueFire. Our learning tools and massive library of video lessons will ignite your technical skills, harmonic knowledge, rhythm playing, and soloing chops. TrueFire's educators are the best in the biz, from Grammy Award winners to world-renowned artists. You'll have access to an unparalleled faculty of over 300 top-notch blues, rock, jazz, country, fingerstyle, and acoustic guitar educators. Using our desktop and mobile apps, you'll work with TrueFire's multi-angle video lessons on any device, anytime, anywhere. Integrated learning tools such as video synced tab and notation, slow-mo, looping, practice jam tracks, and many more handy controls accelerate your learning experience. TrueFire style-specific learning paths guide you every step of the way. Use our assessment tools to find your starting point, Then follow our lesson recommendations and track your progress as you work through your personalized TrueFire study plan. Progress faster with private one-on-one instruction, group lessons, multi-track video jams, live streams, song lessons, student forums, TrueFire's Riff magazine, premium jam tracks, and much, much more. With thousands of 5-star ratings and reviews from amateur and pro players alike, you'll find yourself in good company with the world's most comprehensive guitar learning platform. Grab your guitar and ignite your musicality. Sign up free for an all-access trial today.
I can't hear
it right now. Matt's going to be, don't make me turn this car around.
No way.
You've done to my show. Don't make me turn this car around and get back to the studio.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Matt, glad you could join us. Be safe. Please be safe. Oh my God. I'm so nervous for him right now.
I think it'd be better if he had a prescription windshield, because those glasses look, I don't think he could drive with them.
You know, that is a great invention idea.
For a while.
Okay. That sounds great.
I'm gonna get out of here. Take me out of the room.
Okay, I'm removing
you. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I did. Okay. So do you want to introduce our guests, GD?
Sure. Let's do this ready to our guest for the second and I have to say it that way because that's the way it was written.
That's the way it's written. Yeah.
That's the way it's written. Our second is Leanne Lindsay, comedian turned entrepreneur. One of my favorite words to learn to repronounce every time I say it. It's a difficult word for me. Leanne Linsky, comedian turned entrepreneur, is the founder and CEO of the new online comedy club, Plausible, located at plausible.com. Right there at the link. It says right there. She's serious about comedy and democratizing the industry with live online stand-up comedy shows, open mics, and podcasts so artists can get paid, so long as they don't use Edge or Firefox, I think it was. She's going to tell us all about it, all the details. Willie and I are just here to make Matt look good because she already looks good on her own. She doesn't need us. I don't even know why she's here. She doesn't even need us. Matter of fact, we are riding her coattails. So if you'll please welcome to Mind Dog, a Coffee with the Dog, Leanne Linsky.
Well, yeah.
What's going on?
Stop
it. That and why?
I was adding. We were fighting against each other, GD. I had to remove. Hello. I hope you didn't get seasick. Yeah, put her over there now. There we go.
Whoa, I need some Dramamine over here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got to tell you though, don't take too much of that. I took 3 tubes of Dramamine one time. I didn't have a regular thought for a few days. It was pretty.
Or bowel movement, or regular bowel movement.
Welcome in, Leanne.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Did I scare Mind Dog off? What is he doing?
No, he's in transit right now. He's going to the Knock 'em Dead studios at Governor's to meet with Sam Talon. So, we're excited for that as well. So he's traveling. He's being safe.
He's just not as excited about me.
Just so you know, you are more important than Sam Talon. It's just that Sam Talon wouldn't come on the show, and we had to go to him. But
isn't he in Colorado?
No, he's in New York. He's playing Governors. Tonight.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. Yes.
So you know who he is.
But welcome in.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so it's just me. All right, I'm the only one who doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, no, it's always just you, GD. It's always just you that doesn't know who other comedians are.
Okay, so Leanne,
tell us.
You go ahead. Well, I'm sorry. Willie and I, we don't usually co-host together. We want to try not to make it a pissing contest. I'm going to defer to Willie because he has seniority, and it's seniority over beauty.
You go right ahead.
No. So it's seniority over beauty. So I will sit back and let you. No. All right.
Leanne,
Let's settle this straight.
please
Well,
tell
let's
us
do this.
about
Let's
yourself
do
and
rock,
what
paper,
you're doing
scissors.
with this
Let's do rock, paper,
plausible.
scissors. No, I'm sorry. All right. So
Oh my
Leanne, tell
God.
us about plausible, where the concept came from, and how long you've been doing it, and how you and us, everybody, can benefit from it.
Sure. So I'll try and shorten the story up. I started out doing a comedy in 2001. So that's when I took my first comedy writing class. And fast forward, here I am, right? In this journey, what's that?
Where did you start in 2001?
I happened to be living in Las Vegas at the time. I'm originally from the Midwest and from Illinois, and I ended up going to University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And after I graduated, I stayed in Vegas because, I mean, who wouldn't, right? It's a great place to be in your early 20s. Well, at any point. But I was working for a large corporation doing a lot of public speaking, and I thought, I want to take a comedy writing class and do maybe like a monologue or something, during one of my next events or something, and, throw some jokes in there. And so I took this comedy writing class, which was great. It was a continuing ed class through the university. And then a while later, some coworkers were like, wow, Leanne, have you considered, maybe taking some improv over at the Second City? Now, mind you, I was not working for an entertainment company. I was working for a home builder. I was not even in that lane. And I was like, huh. And someone said, the Second City opened a training center out here. And being from the Chicago area, I'm familiar with the Second City. And I was like, what? Are you kidding? And sure enough, I saw an ad that same week in the paper, and I thought, I'll give them a call. So I found out they had all these classes available, and I ended up taking them like 2 and 3 times each. And I had been at this job for a really long time, and eventually I got laid off. And when I did, so now I had been doing comedy for 5 years. I had been studying with the Second City and doing improv shows and all of those things that one does once you take an improv class. You all get matching t-shirts and then
Right, yeah.
hilarious. So we had been doing shows regularly and everything. And I always said to my friends, if I didn't have this great job and, this life here in Vegas, I would totally move to New York and pursue this. And guess what? Then I lost my job, and my friends were like, "Hey, didn't you say?" And I'm like, I didn't know you were listening.
Don't we hold me to that? What?
Yeah. And so I ended up moving to New York. A month later, I was like, my friend had called me on the phone and said, and during this time that I had been studying at Second City, I flew to New York and I stayed in New York and did intensive studies at Upright Citizens Brigade and things like that. And I was like, oh, this is amazing, And so I'd made these new friends. And one of my friends from UCB, who I had gone to classes with, reached out and was like, hey, I have a sublet. You lost your job. Do you want to go in on this sublet for the summer with me? And I was like, oh, I'll have to think about it. He's like, you have 1 hour. I was like, 1 hour?
Wow.
And then I found out if you're looking for a place in New York, you have to decide like right now, do you want this place? Because it will be gone within minutes. So I called him right back. I said, I'm in. And I packed 2 suitcases and moved to New York. So in New York, I immersed myself. I took all kinds of classes at Magnet Theater, at UCB. And I just started doing all the things I possibly could to learn and do more comedy. And so I started an open mic, which I ran for 7.5 years. I produced stand-up shows. I did my one-woman show. I did commercials and acting and theater. And eventually I moved to California. That was a whole people are like, oh, did you move to LA for your comedy? And I guess you could say that. I moved there for a man, and that turned out to be a joke. So
Yeah.
But
just FYI, my wife and I, when we first met, she lived in another state, not just a physical geographic state, not just mental, but she lived in another state. And I told her, I said, I am not worth relocating for. Not just you, because you have your own career, your own everything. You don't need me, And I told her, you don't need me, and definitely don't need to relocate for me. And I cautioned her that I am like really not worth relocating for. No woman should ever relocate for me, and she did it anyway. So why do y'all do that? I mean, did he not warn you that he wasn't worth it? I'm sorry.
No,
go
it
ahead.
was quite the opposite. That's a whole episode in itself, but that was quite the opposite. I got there and he completely changed his mind. And I was like, you don't realize I just gave up an apartment in Queens. I'm never going to get it back. I'm like, this is bananas. And it was terrible. I'm like, well, let's start all over, So I did, but I found myself spending more time in traffic than I did on the stage. I'm like, well, this is nuts. I'm spending all this money in gas. I'm driving an hour and a half to get stage time because, in LA, anything's an hour and a half.
Yeah. Even if it's a walk down the street, it's an hour and a half drive.
It truly is like, oh my goodness. It was just really hard. And I was so used to, mass transit and subways, and it was so easy to get around and get to different places, every night, but not so much in LA. And I was like, well, how do I solve this problem? So I started doing things online. Now, mind you, this is August of 2019. So when I moved to LA, it was end of 2014, beginning 2015. And I was like, hey, I really miss running my mic and my regulars and producing my shows. How do I stay connected? And I was like, what if I do things on Skype? And then it was like, oh, wait, Skype. Right. But this idea of connecting via the internet was there. And I'm like, I really do want to keep in touch with everybody. I love, I was working on our bits, doing all this stuff. And so I started producing in-person shows, of course, and everything in California. And I started podcasts. I did all the things, but it just wasn't the same. So August of 2019, I'm like, you know what? This idea has been rolling around. Why don't I just use Zoom? This BC before COVID. And I started doing a mic online just so I would have a regular group in which I could work out new material. And then they're like, wow, this is really great because they're meeting people from New York and LA and across the country. And then COVID happened and then everybody's doing it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But the thing was, it got my wheels turning. And I'm like, wait a minute, if I can solve this problem, what if we can solve some of the other problems that we have as comedians? Also, like getting paid or doing more shows or reaching a bigger audience that actually wants to see the comedy and isn't there for like a football game. And, there happens to be some guy with a microphone in the corner screaming at me. So I'm like, how do we figure that out? And so during COVID, I actually went back to school and got my master's in innovation and entrepreneurship because I thought I'd spent all these years doing comedy and all this stuff, but how do I get myself into an ecosystem of like creating this tech? Because I'm a non-technical founder. I don't code, but I have this idea. How do I find these people who can bring my idea to reality?
Right.
And so that's what I did. I ended up after school. I'm like, I went back to school at the age of 50. I'm like, after school, I got a team together and, I'm like, I had it all mapped out on, I would say a piece of paper, but it was on my computer of like, this is my vision. Like, what if we could flip the business model on its head and people could actually get paid instead of having to like convert beans into coins, into points, into tips, into like all this other, minimum number of 10,000 views or something. Let's just make it simple. What if you get a cut of the virtual door, right? And that's what I did. And I simplified it. And of course, I'm not here to replace it in person. I just want to, because that will usually be the next question. And that's not the intention.
It's just a separate thing. Right.
Yeah. It's like, exactly. And bring more opportunities, make it accessible.
But my concern, to be honest,
I love that.
My only concern is that because I've only been doing comedy for 10 years, almost 10 years. And Will tell you, I don't know anything about comedy. So, or being funny, but most of a good 1/3 of my jobs, I got paid in food and weed. So how do you handle that when you're over the internet? How do I get my food and weed? How does that happen?
So I don't know about that, but I do know, like, let's say you create your free Plausible account, right? You sign in as a comedian, you get a free profile like your LinkedIn page, but it's like
Right.
a profile page for a comedian. You can even post your in-person shows in there if you want, so that you could use that as your website. So you don't even have to have a website. Like you could put all your stuff right there. And then we provide you the scheduling tool. So on the calendar, anything you put on the Plausible calendar are actually live plausible virtual shows. And then there's a separate place to put all your in-person stuff with links to get, access to tickets for your in-person things and like that. But the calendar on Plausible, you can choose, I'm doing a free event or I'm doing a paid event. And if you do a paid event, you set your own price. Minimum is $5, and then you can make it as much as you want or as little as you want. And then you get, as a host comedian, you get 60% of all your ticket revenue. So if you sell one ticket, you're already making money. You don't have to sell a minimum.
And then
of
I would take that money that I make and I can convert that to food and weed.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm creating a middleman.
Yeah.
But I'd rather not have the middleman. I'd rather have the club themselves just give me the food and weed. But it sounds like actually I like the model, and I feel kind of giddy. I hate to say schoolgirl giddy, but I do. I feel schoolgirl giddy about this thing that you're doing here. It's because I can see myself doing this. Stop it! Don't tell me. No voice. Don't stop it. Really, take over the voices. Stop it. Stop.
Okay, so is this only available for comedians, or are there other type of entertainers that can also make a profile and use this website as well?
So it's primarily for comedians. So, however, that said, let's say people who are doing, I'm keeping it in the lane of comedy, but is there possible other use cases? Of course, if this is working for comedians, could it be for other types of entertainment? Because we also don't have the issue with audio delays and cutouts. So you don't have that, where it's like, what, on some, like you experience on some other platforms. So we eliminated that, and we created the screen layout set up for comedy, so that there's a virtual stage, and it doesn't look like a club. Like, I'm not going to try and recreate a club on your screen. That's weird. But the way the screen is laid out is so that a comedian can quickly scan the audience, if you will. So like the audience is all populated on the right in squares, and the comedian is anchored to the left all the time, bigger than everybody else. Because if people have the option to go in gallery view, they're not watching you. They're watching whoever's walking around in their house and seeing what they have. Let's be real. But it keeps the focus on the performer. And if I'm hosting something and I bring another person, another comedian on my show, then I put them on the virtual stage and they're stacked above me, and I'm able to light them and do all of the things without taking focus. But then the audience is on the right, and if you want to see everybody in the audience, you can just use your wheel on your mouse or 2-finger trackpad and scroll up and down in the audience, just like if you were there and scanning the audience like this. So
that's great.
You can scroll through and see everybody. So yeah, there's different things that people can do, but you can just sign in and set up your events.
And as a comedian, you actually hear the audience responses kind of like in real time?
All in real time, and you can hear multiple people laugh at the same time. Not just one.
Good. Or in my case, wishing I could hear them laugh, because I'd be like going, turning up the volume all the time, like, why isn't anybody laughing?
Yeah,
Leanne, I think this is broken. Nobody's laughing again.
Yeah, if you don't hear any laughing, it's you.
I don't know if did you have the experience of doing any like parking lot shows during COVID? Like, because there were some places I did, like they brought in a trailer and a speaker, or one place I did, they actually did it like a drive-in movie, and there was like a frequency that they could set it to where you came through on their car, and people would honk at you for laughter instead of and that's one of the weirdest audience responses, like horns honking for your jokes. That's a weird feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if I want anybody armed with a large vehicle if they don't like my joke. But have I done parking lot shows? Yes, not during COVID, but back in the early 2000s, I actually did a parking lot show. I did, and it was one of the worst experiences I ever had. It was when I was living in Vegas. Our improv troupe was hired to perform for like the Lions Club or I don't know, something, you know, the Rotary Club, something along those lines. And they had this big event in a parking lot and it was outside. Obviously, it was outside. It was a parking lot. And we arrived, me and another guy. There were six or seven people in our improv group, but only two of us showed up. And then it rained.
Oh, no. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And then there
was, of course.
They didn't have a stage. So we're same level as hundreds of people in a parking lot. We're going to do improv. And they had a handheld mic. It was like, we looked at each other and we're like,
right?
just one handheld mic. And it was, and we're like, wow, we looked at each other. We're like, we're going to be friends forever. We're still friends to this day. We're like, we were so angry. We're like, nobody else showed up and here we are. And we're like, we have to do it. We just have to do it. And we muddled through 2-person scenes with people screaming, we can't hear you. I'm like, thank God you can't, because this is the worst improv I've ever done.
That's for your benefit. Like,
yes.
That's
truly. Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Well, but look at on the bright side, if you had 6 people in one mic, it would have been worse.
There was no good outcome here. And also, I don't know that we were even good at the time.
We might have just sucked anyway. That's fabulous.
Yeah. So after that, you know, we booked us at I think I booked us at a basketball game halftime show. Also, not an ideal place for any sort of improv.
That seems like a weird venue for an improv troupe for sure.
The group was like, really? And I was super excited about it. We showed up and they're like,
but it has great potential. If you all dressed up like cheerleaders, people would think you're like started the
I was gonna, I mean,
and then you break out from a cheer into a routine, and people are like, I think I like it.
You know, that is not a bad idea. I think we had a lot of things going against us. First, it was Vegas. So us and me in a cheerleading costume in Vegas also wasn't going to get anyone's attention.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't. See, that's just it. Once you could put almost anyone in a cheerleading outfit at halftime. It doesn't matter. You could get like chihuahuas and put them in cheerleading outfits, and people will accept it because it's halftime, not during the game. You can't do it during the game. During the game, you have to be able to like have a pom-pom.
Yeah.
But at halftime, anything goes.
Well, have you seen cheerleaders in Vegas? They tend to take focus.
Not without paying for it. No. Wow. But this is like a fantasy cheerleading camp that I was part of. Not like not real cheerleading. It's like fantasy cheerleading. Another show. I will tell you all about it another time. But it's So because now.
So are you producing live shows as well now?
No, I am not. I haven't done anything in person in a number of years, actually, because I've been working on this. Yeah. And I'm my butt is shaped like an IKEA chair. Like I don't leave my computer. That's where we're at. I need an Allen wrench to stand up. But
so you have Zoom ass.
Well, I would call it that, but I'm unplausible.
Oh, okay. So you're a plausible ass. Okay.
She has a plausible ass.
I do have a very plausible ass.
That's a weird way to put it. Okay. All right. Oh my God, that's great. That's so funny.
Yep, totally. So yeah.
You said you had a master. What did you get your master's in? You said in entrepreneurship and innovation?
Yeah. Yeah, they call it an MIE, Masters in Innovation and Entrepreneurship at University of California, Irvine.
That's very cool.
Only one E? Like you paid for 2 E's. Are they saving money on that second E?
A second E? What would the second E stand for?
You said masters in
Innovation and
innovation.
entrepreneurship. Innovation is an I.
So they're skimping on the eyes. That's
No,
okay.
MIE. MIE.
Masters in.
Master.
There's an
No,
I.
he's not the. You don't give him an I for
They
the
don't.
word
The
in.
little words don't get a letter. GD.
I'm sorry. Here's the deal. If I was telling a joke and I left out all the little words, the joke wouldn't work, which might be my problem.
Well,
but you're telling me that you paid for an inn. I'm sorry. If you look at your tuition, that inn was not free. You paid for that inn, and then they just take it away from you at the end. I'm sorry. I smell a lawsuit. I smell a class action lawsuit. All those people who got that degree.
I think it's actually Masters of Innovation and Entrepreneurship.
That's even worse.
It's an O. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See,
now there's an O that nobody even cares about.
Yeah.
Right. It's like the donut holes at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes, this is like the O2.
Everybody cares about those though. Those get gobbled up.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So we have an O2 movement class action suit.
Matt is like, university's out of business.
In the car. Matt is in the car going, damn it, put me in, coach. Put me in, coach.
Yep, he is. he already turned us off. He turned us off a long time ago.
All right. So with plausible, people could just go to the website and make a personal profile, and like how like probably set up banking, all that kind of stuff, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. So comedians, when you go to Plausible, it'll ask you to join now or create an account, and you select either a fan or a comedian. If you're a fan, you can do it real quick. You can either choose to add more information about you or skip it and just go right to the dashboard and look and see who's in the talent directory and what's on the show listings. Or if you're a comedian, you can set up your account and enter, just like that. And it'll prompt you to fill out your profile, or you
What's
can.
What's the fan interaction like?
It's just like here. You can interact. You can do crowd work. You can talk to the audience. They can see and hear you. You can see and hear them. If a fan has background noise or chooses not to turn their audio on for some reason, they can use sound emojis. So we have little emojis like clapping, laughter, rim shots, wah wah. We have all kinds of things I can play with
great.
too.
So if you're watching the show and you like something that the comedian does, you can press a little rim shot thing.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do that, or you can just laugh out loud, and the comedian will hear you. Yeah.
Right. But that's fabulous that people can add like rim shots and stuff like that too. Is there a recording aspect to it at all? Can performers record their shows?
Sure. Yes. Okay. The host comedian, whoever is hosting the event, can record. And the host has, so I thought about this. So the host is the one who has the option to record, because we know as comedians, sometimes we don't want our sets recorded or something. So only the host has that option, and only the host can publish it on Plausible and or download it. But so like if someone's like, hey, can you edit my stuff out? The host can download it, edit that person out, and do whatever and distribute it. But like they can also stream to YouTube directly from Plausible and do that. Yeah. So like if you wanted to take this podcast and you wanted to have a VIP room and have, tickets available for, a live studio audience, you can invite them on Plausible. They could buy their tickets, be in there, and you can do Q&As, you can have them interact. And then at the same time, you could be streaming live to YouTube and distribute, and then download, distribute, and do whatever you do with your podcast on a regular basis to monetize it.
Now, obviously,
that's awesome.
There's only so much space on the screen. So is there a maximum number of people that can be seen on the screen versus the maximum number of people who can actually attend the event?
Yeah. So on the screen, you can see all of the people on the screen. what you do is, so unlike, let's see, if you're familiar with a Zoom, you have to click to another screen to see everybody. With
Right.
Plausible, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is hit your scroll wheel, and your audience will scroll through all like this.
So
If you
so
stop,
the entire audience is there. You just have to move
Mhm.
around to see.
you
Okay.
you just have to you just hit your wheel and scroll. It's super. So if you're talking, all you have to do is flick your finger on the wheel, and you can pan your audience. It's no different than you going like moving your head. You're just moving your finger. So then you can see them scroll through on the right hand side. But if you're not scrolling, you'll see 6 people, because if you think about how when you're on a stage and you have bright lights on you, you typically can only see a handful of people clearly at any given time. So that's why we did it this way, is because you need immediate feedback. And if the boxes are too small, you can't read faces or expressions well. It's so this way it's easier to read the room at a glance, and then you can get a vibe for it if you scroll through, while you're still talking without
Now,
without.
is there a sort button or filter so that you can just say, look at attractive people and have like the
What a
unattractive
great
people?
idea,
Yeah,
right?
you know what I'm saying? So the attractive people are at the top, the unattractive people are at the bottom, and then you can scroll like this, or just I'm just saying, it was just because that's all I'm just thinking about. Because if there, you could be having like a really, really good set, and then you catch eyes with an audience member, and if they're too hot, it'd be distracting, or if they're too ugly, it'd be like, oh my God, what was that joke again? Oh my God, stop it, oh my God, I can't look. So is there like a filter so you can have like maybe okay looking people that you could just focus on?
No, there's not. But it sounds like you're making some serious eye contact with your audience members.
Yeah. I mean,
he likes to stare them down.
Yes.
Why aren't you laughing?
Oh yeah, I do. I make serious eye contact. I like, excuse me, are you getting this joke? This joke is just
I only make direct eye contact with audience members when I'm doing jokes about my testicle. That's always my favorite time to look somebody right in the eye.
Yeah,
talking about my one nut.
It took me a while to figure it out, but I was talking to another comedian. I'm not a name dropper, so I'm not going to mention Christopher Titus by name. I think it'd be wrong. But in my early days, he was like one of the people who was like advising me on how to interact with the audience. And one of the things he said to me was told to him by Dana Carvey. So I guess I can say Dana Carvey told me, but he used Christopher Titus as the vehicle to tell me. Yeah, that's what it is. So Dana Carvey was telling me that when you do the setup, you do it to one person, and when you do the punchline, you do it to the whole audience. So that's why I make the eye contact. That's why I get like really close on a Zoom, just so I could do the setup, and then I back away. For the punchline.
I just got a call from Dana Garten, and he told me it's time to say goodbye to Gubs. We got to get rid of Gubs. So.
Okay, so that we don't punch
Matt will see you soon.
Just so that we don't punch them in and out, are you going to punch them out so I don't touch the button?